Hey, this is Nelson from Gary and Nelson in sunny Lincoln, Nebraska. No, it's not. It's miserable here. But luckily, you're not stuck here. You are listening to the Hoppe and SuperRICH.
All right, call the show. 847-866-WNUR. That's 847-866-9687. Man, is this a unique beat? Wouldn't you agree, guys? This beat makes you just want to go to a club and just see what's going on.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, yeah. Just listen to this real quick.
Some booty shaking happening.
Yeah, twerking. Okay. We are going to rant because I grew up a Bears fan. I loved it, SuperRICH. I loved watching Devin Hester in the Super Bowl. I thought we were going to win, watching him get that kickoff return. All the memories. How about him in 2010? Even every time he didn't get a touchdown, he would put us in good position in 2010 when we made the playoffs.
Yeah,
he did things right. But then something happened. Because who was our offensive coordinator then? Mike Martz?
Mike Martz, yeah.
And he did all right with Ron Turner. But who was the new guy we brought in who he just didn't seem to mix with because he was too dumb?
I don't know. I don't know by name.
We have been
exactly.
through so many offensive coordinators, it means diddly squat at this point. Here's the problem with Devin. When he broke that record, he wasn't very smart. I remember hearing on 670 to score day at a press conference, he's like, damn right, I'm the best to ever do it. Damn right, I will go down as the best to ever do it. Like, he's not very smart. So this next thing that Devin, or that SuperRICH is going to read about, proves that Devin is not a piece of dirt, but he is an ungrateful douchebag.
Well, here's my thing about him. I know he's the greatest to ever do these returns because he passed Sanders' record for most last Thursday against the Falcons. But he was really good his rookie year, the year they went to the Super Bowl, 2006, 2007. He was really good then, and he had but the thing is, the majority of his returns came during that time. He had another couple good years in 2007. 2008, he was pretty decent. 2010, the year they went to the playoffs and lost to the Packers in the NFC Championship, he was pretty good. But there was, he had up and down years. And the thing about him is when he would run it back, he would not run straight through. He
would always run backwards.
He'd run backwards before he ran forwards, and then you'd end up only getting maybe an 8 or 9 yard gain out of it, and then that puts the Bears' offense in a bad position to begin with. So it's ridiculous.
And here's the thing.
But he was good when he did them.
Here's the thing about it, though. I get that he was forced to be a wide receiver. I get that he was like 190 to 210. That's what a Timmer told me when we're driving up here. Like, he was skinny. I get that he was forced by the dumb Bears like Jerry Angelo to make him a wide receiver. I'll never forget that press conference.
That wasn't as much as him as it was Mike Martz.
But listen.
Yeah.
He didn't even try half the time. He wouldn't even jump. He was too dumb. There was one interception against the Packers going into halftime. It may have been that one game when we could have taken him out of the playoffs. He didn't even jump for the ball. He just let Charles Woodson just take it from him. Like, I get you're not the best wide receiver. I get you're not an all-time great like Calvin Johnson or Jerry Rice. But he never fought for it. He never was smart enough to even figure out how to do plays. Johnny Knox was more effective than him. The one time he'd be effective was when he was wide open. But heaven forbid anybody come at you. Because that's the point of football. You have to learn how to fight adversity when big 370-pound black men are coming at you. You have to figure out a way to be good. And when you can't get that done, you're a disgrace, Devin Hester. And what he said and what SuperRICH is about to read is a disgrace for me. I paid for your damn jersey. There were people who waited in line and paid $200 just for a signature.
Every time a team would go to start the game and kick off to the Bears and Devin Hester, most fans were pumped and assuming that he would have a good chance to run it back.
You brought excitement to us. People waited in line to pay $200 just for your awful handwriting. I bet you do. When you signed signatures, we filled up seats for you. We took 3 hours out of our life every week to hope you would do something. So you should be grateful that we supported you. You weren't in a city like Jacksonville where there's no fans, or in a town like Cleveland where they're all drunk and they're mean. This is a town that cares about the Bears. And for you to go out there and not say nice things about this town after this report came out that you're about to read about, Mark Trestman sent him a text saying congrats. So it shows that we're the classiness on this end, and Devin is nothing but a sore loser who is mad that he wasted 4 years on the Bears. You agree with me?
Yeah, and the article is pretty much what you're saying.
Read it,
So Devin Hester claims he wasn't happy the last 3 to 4 years in Chicago. And
You think
coincidentally,
we're
in those
happy-
last 3 or 4 years, he didn't do crap for the Bears.
You
so.
think we're happy when we needed you to get us into good field goal range, or you would run backwards, or you would have dumb quotes at press conferences, or when you would cause interceptions, or when you just didn't add anything?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think we're happy with you? No. Shut your trap.
All right, so Devin Hester was a big reason why the Falcons obliterated the Buccaneers on Thursday. He scored 2 touchdowns in Atlanta's 56-14 win over Tampa Bay. Yeah, he had a good game, which was
Very weird to see.
pretty surprising. But so one of those scores came on a 62-yard punt return that gave Hester his 20th career return touchdown, setting the NFL record. Following the game, Hester was in a reflective mood, and those reflections included at least one direct shot against his old team, the Bears.
And here's the thing. It's great that he broke the record, but he's not. People are trying to say, is he a better player than Deion Sanders on the Sports Network? Deion played multiple positions and was good at everything. Devin sucks at everything but kicking a ball. And
It was a lot harder to return then, too.
he was better at catching the ball and running than he was at anything else. And here's the second point. It wasn't like he was playing a good defense, like let's say the Bengals or something. He was playing an atrocious Tampa Bay team that got their ass
that
kicked.
coincidentally has Lovie Smith as
and
their
you
head
know
coach.
he was pumped up for that.
Yeah.
If Devin keeps doing this against good teams, good for him. Maybe he helps out his legacy.
Oh, I guarantee you he won't have another return this season.
No way. This
BS.
was just a fluke because Tampa Bay
BS.
blows donkey.
BS.
You disagree, Timmer?
I disagree with all of this.
Why?
Well, what's your
Because
take on it?
My take is that Hester is the most incredible return man that ever
Okay,
lived.
but that doesn't mean because you had one good game against an
Wait.
atrocious team that he's going to have this for the rest of the season.
BS, because Hester was drafted in the second round for special teams abilities. The Bears tried to make him a cornerback, which is an unnatural position for him. They tried to make him a receiver, which was another unnatural position for him. Lovie Smith drafted him as a special teams guy.
So he wasn't smart enough to run any other play. I'm not saying that he could have learned how to be a good wide receiver or something else, but it's because he wasn't smart enough. You would see him out there. He looked like a lost puppy in the middle of
Wait
traffic.
a minute. You're putting way too much on the shoulders of Devin Hester for
No,
one.
I'm not.
Listen,
You're paid to get the job done. And when you are given the opportunity to be a wide receiver with a decent player like Jay Cutler,
Well, he should have been never turned into a wide receiver.
Yeah.
I'm just
but-
saying he didn't use his opportunity. Maybe you need to go to Jerry Rice and learn how to be better or hit the weight room. I'm not saying he was going to be an all-time great, but he was lackadaisical
But
on
do
a lot
you-
of goddamn plays.
But do you recall how bad the Bears' offense was for those years that he wasn't producing? A lot of times he's doing kickoff returns, right?
I'm just saying.
Well, I thought that's where they should have kept him all along. Just keep him in his return team role and his special teams role, and just go with that. The problem was when he became wide receiver and everything, he had a lot more things to do, and I think he sort of not. I feel like he didn't work as hard on improving his
Thank
return
you.
game
That's my point.
because he was focusing on other aspects like being wide receiver,
but that
like being
wasn't his
cornerback.
decision. No way was that his
I know
decision.
it's not his decision,
But when you're a professional player, you work through adversity and at least try to improve. He was so lackadaisical.
I feel
out
like
there.
he forgot about his return game after a certain point
But
because he
You're
thought he was good
paid-
enough where he didn't
you're
need to
paid
work on it as
When
hard.
you are given the chance to be a wide receiver, I'm not saying that he was just going to be given the all-time great skills, but at least try to do something. During half the interceptions that were plays
Yeah.
thrown at him,
Yeah.
he didn't even try. It was like,
I mean, it doesn't matter because he shouldn't have been wide receiver anyway. He should have stuck it with his return thing. I just think,
you see where I'm coming from?
yeah, I understand where you're coming from. I understand where Timmer's coming from too. So I'm just going to go ahead and read this
I just
quote.
got to be the voice of differing opinion here. Because,
Yeah, well, we always have to have a different opinion.
And
of
here
course.
is my good friend, one of my best friends, Kyle Didhart, and he said, damn, take it easy on Devin. I'm effing laughing no. Because I'm speaking the truth. I am being hard on him because he will be a part of my, being a kid because I watched him every damn Sunday. I rooted for him.
So did I.
And I'm a bit heartbroken when you even have the audacity to trash him. Maybe say something like, it wasn't the best being on the Bears, but it was an honor to play in the orange and the blue.
I'm going to go ahead and read it.
Please do.
He says, I'm happy, man, Hester said via WGN Radio. You know what? I'm going to say it, man. I wasn't happy the last 3 or 4 years in Chicago because things weren't going the way I expect.
They did him dirty.
I would always have a great camp, have all the receivers saying and coaches saying I had the best camp of all the receivers, and once the season starts off, I'm not there. You could even, and then, so that's the end of the quote. You could even argue that Hester took an indirect shot at Buccaneers coach Lovie Smith, who was Hester's coach in Chicago.
What a classy thing to do. The coach who took a chance on you and drafted you when a lot of people said that's not who you should take at that second-round pick, you know what I mean? Just a guy who kicks returns. A coach who cared about you and rooted for you every Sunday. For you to have a direct or possibly direct little dig at Lovie, screw you, Devin, you ungrateful douche.
So Hester also seemed to take an indirect shot at Jay Cutler, which who doesn't nowadays? Cutler said he was unhappy from 2010 to 2013. So that's what Hester said, and so he goes on to say, "I got a quarterback now that loves he loves even the walk-ons, man, and the coaches know how to get the ball to me, make plays for me, and I'm excited for this season. This is only the beginning for our team." With 126 yards receiving through 3 games, Hester is on pace for 672 yards this season. If Hester does hit that number, it would be the second highest total of his 8-year career, and it would be higher than any total he had in his final 4 seasons with the Bears. So that's that.
I just didn't like the dig at Jay Cutler.
Yeah, there's no point to take an indirect.
It's in the past,
an indirect shot at a team that you formerly played on. I mean, have some respect.
We rooted for you, and here's the thing. I get that Jay's a douchebag because I went to the Jay Cutler show with ESPN 1000, and I just got douche chills just sitting there watching him live, and he left immediately. He had security guards around him. His wife was more friendlier than him. He didn't want to say hi to anybody, no pictures. So my point is, I get that Jay isn't likable. But he tried to make the most out of you. He made the most out of Johnny Knox. He makes the most out of Earl Bennett here. He makes the most out of those beasts. Marshall.
Well, the thing about Hester, he never broke away from coverage. He was so fast he was so fast in his return game, and then when it came to being wide receiver, he was never open. He was never
he wasn't smart enough to get open.
Doing necessarily what the Bears hoped that he would do. It's not necessarily Devin Hester's fault. He's a special teams guy all the way, but he is doing good with the Falcons here early. So it possibly has something to do with offensive coordinating and possibly head coaching, because towards the end of Lovie Smith's tenure with the Bears, he wasn't very good. A lot of people didn't like him, calling for his resignation.
But here's the thing. I feel like Devin maybe didn't play to his full potential here. I'm not saying that, but I feel like he let Jay Cutler's douchebaggery get a way of being a good player. You know what I mean? Because he might have been turned off by it. Because he was saying in other quotes, or he was implying that working with Matt Ryan, who seems like a good guy, he does a lot of work in Atlanta for charities.
Yeah.
I think he's implying working with Matt is easier. So you let the fact that Jay Cutler might be antisocial and a douchebag affect you from being the best possible player. Screw you, Devin. This is all because you weren't smart enough to get it done. When you listen to his quotes and the way he talks, the fact that he had the audacity to call out some of the parts of the team like Lovie and Jay proves that he isn't smart and he's not classy. Second part, it's all in the past now. You went to the Super Bowl. How dare you call out your coach Lovie? Can't you at least take in your pride and say something positive? Like, those were some great years. I'm happy for the fans that supported me.
Well, he doesn't have to say anything. The fact
thank you. That's good too.
That he brings something up makes Bears fans upset. I don't think people are happy with what he said.
I'm just kind of like, why, dude? We paid to watch you. We bought your jersey. We played you in Madden. We supported you. I had dreams, not about him, but when I was pumped before a Bears game, I would have dreams of him having 7 punt return touchdowns. He was my hero as a kid. And for you to trash some parts of the Bears, you're dead to me, Devin Hester.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm not kidding right now.
Coming up, the Hoppe and SuperRICH Show.
All right. What is coming up, my man, SuperRICH?
All right, so police say a father made his son drink until he passed out. So that's a good guy to look up to. Also,
Dad of the year.
Also, Ron Washington, the former manager of the Texas Rangers now, said he resigned a couple weeks ago, and he had a statement about it. He says, quote, "I was not true to my wife. I broke her trust." Says he will get back into the game. So he did take some time off for personal matters. Yes,
and he left because they sucked. Call the show.
He was also a drug addict a couple years ago. He was addicted to cocaine.
People forget about that. 847-866-W on the order. It's 847-866-9687. Maybe you're on coke right now and you want to call the show and you're all hyper. Call us right now. We'll be right back on the Hoppe and SuperRICH show. Hang on.
The Hoppe and SuperRICH show.
This is an official broadcast of Hoppe Radio. For more info, check out hopperadio.com and hoppesworld.com.